Hi, this is Jake Dahl with Onsharp. Onsharp helps businesses grow with custom app development. I'm here with one of our clients, Nell Tekampe of Find Equine. Nell, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us.
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. So, Nell, tell us a little bit about Find Equine and what it does exactly.
Well, the premise of the app is to give people a place to buy and sell their horses, and kind of a common community where they can go and find each other. There's not a lot of places that there's a lot of internet places, but there's not a lot of easy places to connect buyers and sellers. So this is kind of the one-stop shop.
Yeah, and I remember when you came to us with this concept too, and the first thing that came into my mind was like, this is super cool. Like, there's really nothing else out there today like it at all. So, anybody out there who's kind of in that world, this is a pretty cool one to check out. So it was a fun one to build. There's no doubt. So tell us a little bit about what helped you decide to go with OnSharp for developing your app.
Well, what had happened is I've had the idea in my head for actually years. I bought the domain name Find Equine in 2007. And every year I renewed it, and it was always on the back burner to develop something. I buy and sell horses for a living, and I just thought there should be an easier way to do it. In 2020, I decided that was the year with COVID and the world's changing that I wanted to push forward with it. And I had hired another company before Onsharp that did not have a positive experience with. And I did have the app built, but was left with nothing that was usable or scalable. So I was telling a friend that I had created this project. I didn't know where to go from there. And they had mentioned Onsharp. So I thought just on a whim, I'd send out an email and reach out. And I think it was you were my first contact, Jacob, and you emailed me right back. And then we started the ball rolling from there. But it was word of mouth is really how I found you guys. And I just want to say from even the tone of the first email and our first conversations, I just had a good feeling and thought that it could be something positive.
Yeah, I remember that first discussion that we had, and again, going back to like such a cool concept. Obviously, it's been great working with you throughout that process as well. So we really appreciate that feedback. So obviously you went through another provider, it didn't get what you expected, which unfortunately does happen a lot, kind of in the development space, and that's why we always really pride ourselves here at OnSharp about really kind of exceeding the client's expectations because we really want everybody to have a extremely positive experience. So, what was the experience like working with us once we kind of, started this whole process to develop your project?
It was great, and the only the only experience I had had previously was kind of what not to do in doing a project and building an app. But for you guys, it was timely, it was efficient. I felt like every dollar I spent was well spent. The meetings were on track. I came into it with no experience of building an app basically whatsoever, what direction to go, what things I would need, what concepts and ideas I would need to think of. I knew that I wanted to build an app to sell horses, but I didn't know how to actually lay that out. And every meeting I came out of just feeling like there was progress. We were on the same page. And I mean, we went back and forth, especially in the design of the app. Not everything hit it on the first try, but you guys were so great about just coming back and trying new things and changing stuff around until it was exactly what I want.
Perfect. Well, that's always really good to hear, and we really appreciate that feedback too. And I guess the ultimate question now is, I mean, are you happy with how the app turned out?
I'm thrilled with how the app turned out. It exceeded my expectations. I had a vision for it, and it is 10 times better than even the vision that I imagined. Super excited about it, super glad that I went through with the project. And before I came to you guys, there were several points where I thought, I should just give this up and stick to what I know, which is buying and selling horses in person. And even after our initial discovery, which was great. You guys answered all my questions, made me feel super comfortable. I was still doubtful that I could actually see this through to completion. And I remember I had backed off, and I think I sent an email where I just kind of chickened out and said, you know what, I think maybe this isn't the right time and place. And you reached back out and just made me feel real comfortable and confident that my idea actually had some legs to stand on, I think were your exact words. And I also felt, just as a company, you guys were so honest with me. I didn't feel like you were just trying to take my money and build an app that wasn't going to be something that was going to be saleable and scalable. So you gave me the confidence to push through and actually make this project happen.
Yeah, I mean, when we see, a good idea and somebody who's really passionate behind it, like it was just too good of one not to keep pushing.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that, because without your encouragement, I would not have the app that I have today. So it was huge to actually have some real people behind it that I felt comfortable with. Made all the difference in the world. There's a lot of companies out there, but um, it's really the people that you need to work with that makes or breaks it.
Great. That's great to hear. And we really, again, can't thank you enough for the feedback on there. I mean, ultimately, Nell, I mean, would you recommend Onsharp to other companies in need of app development?
Oh, 100%. And just with the experience I've had, and the good and the bad, and knowing what I know now coming through the end of it, 100%. If there's and there's I've learned there's lots of there's lots of companies out there, and some provide quality and some are just value. And you guys are definitely on the quality side of it. If you're considering doing different companies for your project, I mean, go with somebody that you can trust that your money's well spent.
Excellent. Thank you so much. No, we can't thank you enough for your time. And I would encourage everybody to go check out Find Equine in the App Store. It's super cool, and especially if you are, in the horse community, it's a great one to check out. So again, that's Find Equine in the App Store. Nell, thank you so much again. And again, if you're looking for or want to learn more about how OnSharp can help you, please go to our website at onsharp.com/apps.